Howdy folks, I'm Sugary Sweet Potato Casserole, speedily swilling syrupy soda.
I'm Amber.
And here is more syrupy soda for us to swill down, because I guess that's a big staple for Thanksgiving as well. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to leave a wedding because I wore a dress that looks white under a black light? A few months back, I attended a close friend's wedding with my husband. I wore a yellow dress, think like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Bumblebee yellow. So yellow that I did not question if it was appropriate or not to wear to a wedding, and neither did my friends or family. I arrived at the wedding, and we have the ceremony, the cocktail hours, and the dining and reception. I get many compliments on the dress, and the bride even compliments me on how much she loves it several times. Toward the end of the reception, the venue dimmed the lights and turned on some black lights. These black lights made the dress appear more white than yellow. A member of the wedding party approached me while the black lights were on and stated that I needed to leave because my dress was white and inappropriate. I stated that the dress was yellow, but the black lights were making it appear white. The member of the wedding party stated that if I didn't leave, that she would make me. I stated that I'm here to celebrate my friend. I repeated that the dress was yellow and said that I will not be leaving early. The bride and groom hadn't left yet, and I came from overseas. The conversation, while heated, did not raise our voices or use foul language from either side, but I will say that it was tense. The wedding party member walked off, and I watched as they immediately went to the groom and angrily pointed in my direction. The groom shrugged and then continued to dance. The next morning, I was approached by a different friend at breakfast, not in the wedding party, who stated that they heard what had happened, and that I should have just left when asked because it made people uncomfortable, and that I made it about me partying rather than respecting the wedding etiquette. I felt incredibly embarrassed about this so I'm asking if I'm the jerk for not leaving the wedding when asked. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, who checks their wedding attire under a black light before going to a wedding?
I mean, exactly. I think that this person is so out of line with the request for trying to get OP to leave the wedding that it's just ridiculous. No, OP didn't maliciously plan this. Now, if OP had known that there was a black light, went out of the way to find a color and a dress so that it would look like a wedding dress under a black light just to show up the bride in the last few minutes of the wedding, I mean, yeah, that would probably be kind of jerky, but also like futile.
The level of effort that would take.
Yeah.
Like, this was not intentional sabotage. Like,
Yeah.
It's very clear that OP did not go out of her way to wear white. She wore a very appropriate color for the wedding, and most people don't have black lights at their weddings, so
Yeah, exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for making my entire office jealous after they forgot to include me in the group lunch order again? I'm a 27-year-old female, and I've been dealing with a petty but annoying situation in my office. Every Wednesday, someone collects orders for this amazing local pizza place that doesn't do delivery. They make the best pizzas in town, wood and fire, fresh ingredients, and the works. The catch is that they require a minimum of 5 pizzas for a takeout order. For the past 3 months, I kept getting forgotten when they made takeout orders. It started when I had to change my lunch to 1 p.m. instead of noon because of project meetings. Every week, I would put in my order in their shared Excel sheet, and every week they would somehow just order before I added it or didn't see my entry. Here's the kicker. I literally sit right next to Kevin, a 31-year-old male who collects the money and places the order. He has to physically turn his back to me to avoid seeing me. Last Wednesday was the last straw. I heard them all planning the order, and I watched Kevin collect the money, and my name was definitely on that spreadsheet. Yet somehow, when the food arrived, no pizza for me. Kevin's response, "Oh, I'm sorry, I must have missed your name again." We already hit the minimum order, though. So today, I decided to be petty. I called the pizza place first thing in the morning, and I spoke to the owner. I explained the situation, and I asked if I could place a single order for a pickup if I paid a little extra. He laughed, and he said that he liked my style and agreed. When everyone's pizza arrived at 12, I waited. Then at 12:55, right before my lunch, I walk in with a pizza that smelled divine. The owner had made me a special off the menu with truffle oil, prosciutto, and buffalo mozzarella. The entire office could smell it. Suddenly, everyone was asking me where I got it, since they thought that this place had a 5-pizza minimum. Just smiled and said, "Oh, I have an arrangement with the owner now. By the way," he says, "Hi, Kevin." Now half the office is mad that I went behind their backs to get special treatment, while the other half is mad at Kevin for excluding me all this time. Kevin is now especially angry because some people have now asked him to be removed from the order coordinator role. My pizza was delicious, but there's definitely tension in the office now. Worth noting that 3 people have already asked for my pizza connection for their own orders. Am I the jerk for escalating a petty pizza situation? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, once or twice forgetting could be an accident. Every time for 3 months, that is deliberate. It's very clear that Kevin, for whatever reason, has decided that he's not getting OP pizza. And, he should not be in a role where he's able to deliberately exclude another employee from this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really what this one boils down to at the end of the day. OP didn't do anything wrong. For some reason, Kevin has a chip on his shoulder, and he's refusing to take OP's order. OP has done their due diligence and tried to ensure that he would take their order, and he's refused. So going and talking to the manager here is not a big deal, especially since they really technically had their 5 order minimum. Like, I'm sure when he realizes that OP's part of that workplace and they constantly order, more than 5 pizzas or 5 pizzas or, more, that he's like, whatever. I mean, it's just business, right? It's not like it's not part of that order technically, right? But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. You're the jerk and even your dog agrees.
I mean, I think we know who Kevin is.
Wheel, are you Kevin?
We have discovered Kevin's identity. OP didn't anonymize it enough.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, "I gaslight my husband when we fight. This isn't anything ridiculous, just something funny that I want to tell people about, but can't risk getting caught. My husband is a 30-year-old male and I'm a 30-year-old female, and we've been together for 8 years. For the past couple of years, I make him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day to take to work. I use Welch's Grape Concord jelly. This is important later. Every day he tells me that I make the best sandwiches, and I say that it's made with love. However, when we're fighting, he always says that he can taste the difference in his PB&J, and I say because I made it with hate. The truth is that he can taste the hate in his sandwich because when we fight, I use organic sugar-free grape jam, and it's in the back of the fridge and he never sees it. So it's what I use to convince him that he can't make me mad or my anger makes his food taste different. Like I said, if this wasn't anything ridiculous, but it's something that I always get a giggle out and thought that you would all enjoy too." All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, it is kind of funny. I don't necessarily think it's the best way to resolve conflicts, but also he can make his own sandwiches too. Like, he's voluntarily taking a sandwich from OP, and it's not like she's putting something in there he can't eat. Like, I'd feel differently. I don't think this is a great way to handle conflicts, but like, I'd feel differently if she was putting in things that he really didn't like or was morally opposed to.
Yeah. So I want to point out, one, that grape jelly as is pretty sweet, right? So even an organic grape jelly is going to still be sugary. I mean, anyone who's eaten grapes probably is going to, know that grape jelly is sweet, right? I mean, that's why they use grape juice and everything. And this is not anything that is harmful. It's not anything that is, going to cause him harm. So while the deception itself is kind of a lie by omittance, it isn't necessarily even something that OP is lying about, because OP is using the words love and hate with to code what type of jelly they're using.
Right, and they're still using grape jelly. It's not like they are using, again, something completely different in place of the grape jelly. It's just a different brand of grape jelly.
Yeah, I mean, if she was throwing arsenic into the food, I would feel differently about it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that this is the healthiest way of resolving conflict.
No.
But I do think that it's a funny story, and
Yeah.
I think that OP has, in the comments here, it sounds like OP actually has to throw out the organic grape jelly because it goes bad often. So it sounds like OP actually and him probably don't really fight all that often. So this isn't like a thing that happens all that often. I think it's a little manipulative because she's trying to convince him that, oh, your food tastes bad or worse when we're fighting or something like that, right? So don't fight me or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think that this is the worst thing in the world, but maybe not the most constructive.
Right.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Angela Mention says, how has he never seen the jar in the fridge for years? And Opie replies, it's hidden behind the coffee creamer and OJ, neither of which he touches. And Wheezy P Bear says, are you sure it doesn't taste different because it went bad in the back of the fridge? Lol. And Opie replies, haha, yeah, I actually end up throwing it out most of the time because it just goes bad before I can get through the whole jar, in case anyone needed to know how seldom of an occurrence this actually is. And Fancy Nancy Pants says, no one here feeling bad for this man who has a PB&J every day. I guess if he didn't like it, he could make his own. And Opie replies, lol, he works in TV and has to have something that he can eat quick while moving around. Sometimes we change it up, but he's a creature of habit. And Princess Trashbag says, naughty husbands get sad jam. And MotherFan2577 says, this made me cackle, 10 out of 10 comment. And White Eater says, sad jam is the ultimate punishment that he'll never see coming. And Candid Number says, you do make it with hate. And Sean Bernorni says, honestly, haha, she really does. And Quad Arat Est says, technically she's not lying. She's being artfully misleading, and he's not trying hard enough to figure it out, or he has never mentioned it. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Leaving the Room After My Boyfriend Surprised Me? I'm a 23-year-old male, and my boyfriend is a 26-year-old male, and he's been away for almost a month, and was supposed to return this morning from his trip, but told me that in the last minute he decided that he wanted to stay one more day at his sister's, who he hadn't seen in a while. I had been waiting excitedly for the entire month just to see him. Made some decorations, wore his favorite clothes, ordered his favorite snacks, etc., and was very disappointed and upset when he changed his plan last minute. He had no particular reason to want to stay one extra day, so that made me even more upset. The thing is that he surprised me in the past by showing up earlier than he was supposed to, so I asked him at least 5 times whether he was lying to me because he wants to surprise me, because if he is, I would be really upset to be disappointed only to realize that it's not real and do not want to go through the set of negative emotions for no reason. He said that he is being genuine and even sent me screenshots of the canceled tickets. So I let it go and I took down the decorations, changed, ate some of the snacks, and cried myself to sleep. But guess what happens? He shows up on the day, today morning, that he was supposed to. I was obviously happy to see him, but not as enthusiastic as I should have been. He asked me why I was being somewhat dry and distant. So I explained to him that I had told him very clearly that I did not want to feel disappointed for no reason, and to him telling me intricate lies that made me feel really sad, only to show up anyways, made me feel like he did not value my feelings. He got mad and said that I was being unreasonable because everyone likes surprises. I told him that while I usually do too, this absolutely did not feel like a surprise, and left the room and went to my friend's room. I got a bunch of text messages from him saying that I'm being unreasonable and that I'm overreacting. My friend also thinks that maybe I'm being a bit unreasonable to leave him alone when I haven't seen him for so long. So now I feel a little guilty for walking out. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. First of all, not everyone likes surprises. Second of all, OP made it very clear that this was not something that she wanted. This was not something she would consider a surprise. And so he reassured her. He even gave her evidence that, oh yeah, I've changed my tickets. Like, what he did was just manipulation at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's doing this kind of stuff to just kind of basically check in on OP to see if she's like cheating or something like that.
Yeah, it could very well be something like that, because I can't see another reason. I mean, there are people who just like bad jokes and think they're hilarious. Like, oh, ha ha, look, I got you again. You thought I wasn't coming home, and here I am. So that could be it. But if not, then he may be like testing her to see what she does when he's not there.
Yeah. What do you think about her wearing his favorite clothes? It sounds like this might have been like something she was planning to wear overnight or something.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that part because it does sound like I don't know if he called her like first thing in the morning when he was supposed to get in, or if he called her the day before.
The way I see this playing out is that he actually walked in to the house while she was, in the early morning. So the vision I had going on in this is that she was planning on surprising him in the morning when he got in, and
Mm-hmm.
probably was either planning on waiting up or was wearing, like lingerie or something like that, and waiting for him to arrive. And then when he didn't, she was like, oh, this is pretty upsetting. Why did I get all this fancy and stuff like this?
Right. Well, and that's another thing too is he also ruined her surprise, which was a
Hmm.
genuine like she set up, all these decorations for him, got all his favorite snacks, was wearing something she knew he'd like. She went out of her way to make this a nice homecoming, and by him doing this, it sabotaged her plans to welcome
Hmm.
him home.
Yeah. So I really don't think it was good for him to do this at all. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Defunk Moochie 8282 says, not the jerk. He has the nerve to ask you why when you so clearly and considerately outlined all the reasons for him. That leaves two possibilities. One, he's just dumb, and two, he values his plans over your feelings. Neither of these are good things. Also, in this instance, do not allow your friend to pressure you into swallowing your feelings. Do not let him use their opinions as pressure. The relationship is between you two. The friends were not privy to your conversations and your real feelings in the moment. They didn't hear your vulnerability when you explained it to him, or how easily he lied to you about the plans. This isn't a surprise, but a mean-spirited prank where he's chuckling at how sad you feel and then hoping to be the hero when he shows up early. He's throwing a temper tantrum now because he's not receiving the attention that he wanted by pretending to restrict your access to him. And honestly, it's not even that good of a prank. You already called and addressed it directly. It's something that he's done before. If he wanted to surprise you, maybe he should have been less predictable. I'd have honestly made plans not to be home for the surprise. I made plans that don't include you. Why are you upset? You weren't supposed to be back. He needs to grow up and get a sense of humor that doesn't come at your expense. Alright, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Knock knock.
Another knock knock joke. Who's there?
Nana.
Banana who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Nana.
Nana banana who?
Knock knock.
Nana
Knock knock.
knock knock
Knock knock.
knock knock.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Nana.
Nana who?
Nana, your business.
You're the one who's knocking on my door. I don't know why you're. This just frightens me now. Feels like the start of a horror movie, but much more silly. And I have Earl Grey.
Alright, we need you to write that horror story now.
Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy special Sunday, folks. I hope your Sunday is off to a special start. And, folks, do you know what makes it special? You do, and Amber does too.
And Brian does too.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it shocking and surprising.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Immoral.
A moral who?
Amoral people need to work on their morals. I don't know. I was trying to find something surprising and then I got lost.
It
I
is
was
a
like,
bit surprising.
I was like, he wouldn't expect a knock knock joke.
I wasn't expecting a knock knock joke. We'll say that much. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.